Today we're at the auction where we're going to sell this bad boy. Anything over that is a profit. But today's all about quick flips, quick turns. What am I gonna buy for myself? And also see what we're gonna drive home with today. 11, where we're going to leave our car for tomorrow's auction. The Audi e-tron GT was one of my most favorite cars. So welcome to part 2. Welcome to day 2 of our Ford Fusion flip. This is the third car in our budget flip series. The past few days, we have been detailing this thing, trying to bring this 69,000 mile donated Ford Fusion back to life. Today, let's get this thing out of the trailer. We're checked in, we got our run number for tomorrow's auction. Today was the Highline sale. Some really cool things, no great deals. Now we're gonna drive through this, which I believe I've shown you before. Hundreds of cameras, dozens of cameras, and it's gonna video the car as it runs through, take lots and lots of pictures. So we're just gonna go through slowly so it gets all the photographs to put up online that easily. Now we're gonna go to lane 11 where we're going to leave our car for tomorrow's auction, see what's here for tomorrow's auction, and then take off and try to sell this tomorrow in this video. So our car is checked in, 69,000 mile Ford Fusion, one owner. Now we did a headlight restoration, we fixed the rockers with fiberglass, we changed the battery, did a full detail because this thing was nasty and gross. Car looks amazing. Now we're gonna run it through a wholesale auction. Wholesale means dealer to dealer. I bought it at one auction, fixed it, cleaned it, we're gonna sell it at this auction. This will be my third or fourth car that I've sold at this auction in a matter of 4 weeks. One per week is what I'm trying to do. I have nothing to drive around. We sold our Grand Cherokee, which I've been driving around. We are gonna sell this, which I've been driving around. All I have is my big Cummins Ram pickup, and I really wanna be driving that thing everywhere. I need something fun, stylish, makes me smile. We're going to look for something like that at this auction as well. So hopefully you get a twofer. We're gonna sell that car and buy something fun. Today was the Highline sale. Nothing was really worth buying today. Tomorrow, hopefully something else, like a GT53 4-door in a matte black wrap. But look at the brakes, needs brakes. You can tell by the brake dust on the rims. You see sun fade here, like this thing, whoa. And maybe it's not a matte wrap. This might have come like this from the factory because you can see, look at this, oh my goodness. And it's dirty just like I like it. And it's dirty just like I like my women. Tomorrow, hopefully. I was gonna try to steer away from these things, but wow. I need something that makes me smile. Something that I enjoy driving every single day. So there's a backstory to this car. And if you've seen any of my Mercedes videos, you know to stay away from like second and third owners on Mercedes for this reason right here. People just start to neglect their Mercedes because they can't afford the repairs. So on a $100,000 plus Mercedes, you end up needing brakes all around, tires, and then you can see here, this is ownership of Mercedes. It is not a lease return, it's actually a repossession with 33,000 miles. You can even see how the dash is starting to pull away. Like this Cadillac Biarritz. Oh my goodness, this is why I love Florida. So cool to still see these things alive. I bet it was like, and on the road. I bet it was owned by some old person and just barely ever drove this thing. Oh my goodness, it is a time capsule. So cool to still see this Cadillac Eldorado from 1985 on the road and clean. With 74,000 miles. I want to show you some really cool features about this car right here. Number one, you have your quad headlamps. Then you have your Cadillac hood ornament, chrome push bumpers, your fiber optic upper lights, trunk rack. It's triple white, meaning white, white, and white with your pillow top interior. This is how cushy and comfortable the 80s were. They don't make anything like this anymore. Now, who knows what this is right here, because they have it on both sides of the vehicle, as well as your side lamps on both sides and your suede interior. The back seat has the pull handle as well as your storage, your door handle to pull shut, and your chrome door handle to open, your power mirrors, your power seats, 74,000 miles. You have your cassette player with symphony sound. All the original books come out of your wood grain glove box. Clean dash, unlike that Mercedes I just showed you. This car has 2 keys though. Who knows why? Who knows why there is a square key and a round key? Now, I showed you something on the hood. If I push this right here, that is your indicator, which actually flashes right here so you can see it at night to remind you that your directionals are on. Now the last cool feature about this car, you'll see the red pinstripe match the red sidewall tires, and then also your red carpeting. Such a cool car. So cool to see these things on the road still. But how do you put a price tag on something like that? What is it worth? Would you drive it? I would, but I wouldn't. I don't need that in my collection. Pretty neat to still see that thing alive though. All right, I'm heading out of here. Tomorrow we're coming back, which is gonna be our next scene. We're gonna try to sell that Fusion and try to buy ourselves a vehicle as well. So we'll see you in the next clip.
The next day.
Of our Ford Fusion budget flip series, where we bought 3 cars, an Acura RL, a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and a Ford Fusion, all from donation auctions. Decent, but in rough shape. We fixed them, cleaned them, and today we're selling the Ford Fusion. This is part 2 of our Ford Fusion series, which is right there. Mistake I made with the Grand Cherokee was we sold it in a Highline sale. We sold it with Maseratis and Ferraris in a lane that just didn't make sense. The buyers that are buying Ferraris don't want a Grand Cherokee. The people that are buying Subarus and Honda Insights and Toyota Corollas and Chevy Traverses are the same people that are gonna buy a 69,000 mile Ford Fusion. Now in our last video, this thing was rough. So I taught you how to do some fiberglass work, how to do a headlight correction. We replaced the battery, we did an interior detail. Today we're at the auction where we're going to sell this bad boy, and it is clean. It is like a brand new Ford Fusion on the inside, and the gloss paint came back and shines well. The headlights came back and look perfectly clear. The chrome came back because we polished the chrome. The tires are brand new. We replaced the battery. We own this car for $2,200. Anything over $2,500 is our break even. Anything over that is a profit. Wholesaling, and we sell it to other dealers. Retail means I sell it to the consumer. Wholesale means I sell it to other dealers. Why do I do this? I could make way more money on that car selling it retail. Possibly sell it for $600 to $6,500, maybe even $7,000, because a low mileage 4-door sedan is hard to come by right now, and everybody wants cash cars. So I could ship that up north and sell it, but then I have to tie up the money, ship it up north, have them do an inspection on it, have them do repairs. Like maybe it needs brakes, maybe it needs something else that we don't know. Wholesaling, I don't have to do any of the actual repairs. I make it look good, move it on. Retail, I have to make this thing inspectable. So we're talking shipping costs up north, we're talking repairs to whatever it may need, and then we have to sit on it, carrying costs until we find the right buyer. So yeah, we'll make more money, but today's all about quick flips, quick turns. I've done 3 cars in 3 weeks, and basically on the side as like a side job or a side hustle. So that's what we're focusing on. Maybe we'll do retails another day, but for now we're focusing on wholesale cars. On that, I also need to buy something for myself, something with 4 doors, because we sold the Grand Cherokee, we're selling the Fusion, I sold the Land Rover, I sold the Cybertruck, lots of Land Rovers, maybe a Chevy Astro van with 115,000 miles. These things are indestructible. It's basically a Chevy S10 van. No, I don't want it. Of course I don't want it, but it's still pretty cool to see these on the road. What am I gonna buy for myself? I went to the Highline sale yesterday when we dropped the Fusion off. Prices were up, and at the Highline sale, the fees are up too. It costs more money to buy cars at the Highline sale than it does at this one. So we're just gonna search around and see what we're gonna get on the Fusion, and also see what we're gonna drive home with today, maybe. So let's explore. 2021 Porsche Taycan 4S should be around $50,000 to $55,000, 11,000 miles. I love these cars. They're 4 doors. They're essentially, if you get the Turbo S, it is a legit supercar, but they're classy, they're sporty, they handle incredibly well. They don't have autopilot like Teslas do, but they're kind of oddball cars, which is what I like about them. I made money on my Taycan when EVs were big. I lost money on my Audi e-tron GT, but the Audi e-tron GT was one of my most favorite cars. If you can get this in a Turbo S, it is legit a supercar, which is so cool. 4S is all-wheel drive. 2000 Ferrari 360 Modena with 6,000 miles. Cool, I just got mine back finally, my yellow one. So if my Ferrari series hasn't aired yet, we will have the next video on that coming out. 2022, 14,000 miles. We should probably watch that just to curiously see what it sells for. Let's go over to the Ford Fusion. I'm gonna scan the VIN, and they have what they call MMR. MMR is what you should expect to be getting for your vehicles at these auctions. So you get a rough idea of what you wanna pay, what you're going to invest versus what you're going to sell it for and get. So I'm gonna scan the VIN right here. And now this is my Laser Appraiser app. I love this app. If anybody's interested, you can actually sign up on Laser Appraiser with iOS and Android and mention my name, and you'll get a discount or a free month. They give you a promo to try it out. This is how I base all my numbers. So they're not even paying me for this. This is how I figure out how to buy and sell things. So we're gonna scroll down. So 2010 Ford Fusion, 69,000 miles. We're gonna scroll down. Retail on an SE is roughly $9,200 with that mileage. $9,200. I don't sell anything for retail price. It's usually significantly less than that. Would be like a buy here, pay here price. I would probably be, you can see MMR retails around 5150. MMR Manheim Market Report wholesale is around 2700. So we actually sold it for $100 over MMR, which is pretty good. So we got $100 more than what they expected that we get for that vehicle. 88 Humvee, 13,000 miles. Wow, that's a heck of a tablet display. They did a great job with this Humvee, but it's not a convertible. Look at the AC. That's really, really funny. Nice seats too. Let's see what I can buy today. I need to buy myself another Cybertruck. His values have already come down since I sold mine a month ago. I'm glad I got out of that thing. With this truck in one of my last videos, it's still here because it didn't sell, and it was a pretty fair price. It's an F250 Power Stroke lifted with zero rust. Zero rust. Like, this might be worth putting on Bring a Trailer or sending it up to my shop in New Hampshire. 159,000 mile F250 Power Stroke. Let's see what this goes for. Maybe this is worth buying and selling. That Model X Plaid, $100,000+ new. Door wasn't shutting, which is concerning, although it should still be under warranty. I stopped bidding at $47,000. That's plus $100,000 car 2 years ago. But you can see how things depreciate. My Cybertruck depreciated 20 grand in 6 months. Model X Plaid, the Model S Plaid, they're well over 100. They're in the 60s now. I have to be careful about what I'm buying and what I'm spending money on. Anytime I've lost money, it's on a high dollar item. Never on the cheap cars, never on the fun, inexpensive ones. I actually made it a point to never lose money for a long, long time. And that's a lot of what our videos were about, was how much money we made. And then I started buying things that I enjoyed, buying with my heart, buying with my head, my mind. Like, hey, that looks like it'll be fun. That looks like it'll be good on video. Those are the ones I lost money on. Like, I want to have fun in an Audi e-tron GT or a Model X Plaid or a Cybertruck, but it costs a lot of money to have fun. Before I keep going, 1971 Ford Mustang Grand. I think they're called Grand because they're not a fastback, it's a coupe. Automatic, probably a 302. Mach 1 hood. I actually have a 73 Mach 1 Cobra Jet back in New Hampshire that's running. I'm going home in 2 weeks. I'll show you updates on the Mach 1. My Fusion's running through and a lot of people are interested in it. A lot of people walking around this car. Let it go.
Yes or no? I want to give 28 auto approval. If not, I'm going to move on, sir. Last offer, 2,800.
So the Ford Fusion is gone. I paid exactly $2,000 with fees for that car. I put a $70 battery in it and then say roughly $50 in fuel. So we'll round it up to $2,100. Now, a lot of the chemicals and supplies I have in stock. So you could expense that at say roughly $50 in chemicals and supplies between fiberglass and cleaning materials. So I own that car for roughly $2,150. I sold it today for $2,800, but there's a seller's fee of $200. So if I sold it for $2,800, I actually sold it for $2,600. That's how much I'll clear on that car. Now, that's roughly a $500 profit on that Ford Fusion. You want to do this in volume. There's not a ton of money to be made wholesale, but as a hobby, I'm making $500 a week, one car a week, essentially buying it, cleaning it in my driveway, and then running it through an auction. If you do 2 or 3 cars a week, that's $1,500 to $2,000 profit every single week because you're doing it in low volume. 3 cars isn't a lot of cars. And it's easy. I enjoyed the cleaning the cars. I enjoyed the headlight restoration. I enjoyed, not the fiberglass work, but I enjoyed detailing the car. $2,800 I think is a pretty fair price. Let's go see where we should have been. I want to go over something, and it's why I love this channel so much and why I love you guys and everybody that watches this channel. I am constantly learning, constantly evolving. So we get so much hate in the comments section of you should have done this, you should have done that. Flying Wheels in New Hampshire is doing fine. Flying Wheels in New Hampshire is profitable again. Lauren's running it, doing really, really well. Here in Florida is a huge learning curve. I came here knowing that I don't want to buy and sell cheap cars, although that's what you guys want to see. So we're wholesaling cars for the fun of it. A lesson that I learned, I'm going to this and I want to show you this in just a second. A lesson I learned, because we're evolving and I'm learning here, and the reason I like this channel is because you get to see what works for me and what doesn't work for me, and you get to learn off my mistakes. What I'm learning in wholesale is tough because of buyer and seller fees. So if I buy a car at auction 1, I pay $200 to $250 in an auction fee on an inexpensive car. If I sell it at this auction, I pay another $200 to $300 in auction fees. So just say it's $250 buy, $250 sell. It's $500 off the bat before I can even make a profit. So that car has to be in my head. If I pay $2,000, I have to know that I'm actually paying $2,500 because of the fees. This auction I'm at today, I've sold one car every single week. The auctions have what they call a seller rating. If I'm just getting numbers and not selling cars, why give me numbers? I'm wasting their time, I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting a number for them when they could sell it to somebody else. They want a seller rating that's high. So if every week I'm bringing a car, I make $500, I sell a car, I make $500, I sell a car, I have a great seller rating. They're making money off me and the buyer, so they're making money twice because of me. All works out well. But what happens on the front end is I'm buying cars with a buyer fee. So it's costing me $250 on a cheap car right off the bat. This auction gets all the money. I've showed you that the cars are getting over their MMR prices. So what I should be doing, and what I actually came here to do and love to do, is find deals on Marketplace, on Craigslist, on OfferUp, buy those, negotiate those deals, and bring them here and sell them. So like I did the Land Rover, like I did the Cybertruck, those things sold in a day here. They got what they're worth. If I can buy them publicly and sell them here, it saves on a buy fee. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not competing with all the other dealers at the auction trying to get great deals on things. I wanted to show you this and get your opinions on this. This is a 2003 GMC Yukon Denali with 74,000 miles. This is the, in my honest opinion, the best generation Yukon Tahoe ever created. It has a 6-liter LQ9 aluminum V8, 345 horsepower, incredible transmission, incredible engine. Honestly, one of the most comfortable vehicles I've ever been in because of these armrests, these plush seats. I love these. And if you get the Denali Sierra, it has quadra steer. This is a great truck. 74,000 miles. Now it has sun damage here, not a huge deal. That can be replaced. The window tint can get torn off. This always sagging, and that can be repaired. That can be repaired. I love that the paint faded on this truck because I can bring this back to life and make it shine. I can do a headlight correction on the, I can buff the bumpers. It has good tires. The big thing about this car, no rust here, no rust here. Where I'm from in New Hampshire, you cannot get these anymore. The best Denali ever created, in my personal opinion. You can't buy these things in New Hampshire. They don't exist anymore because they're so rusty. So to find a rust-free Tahoe with 74,000 miles, I don't care about the cosmetics. This would have been great to buy and ship up to New Hampshire. To me though, it's still a $3,500 truck because by the time I invest everything into the recon, reconditioning, and then ship it up home for $1,000, I'm gonna be into it for $5,000. And then how much is this thing worth to sell? A 2003 Denali with 74,000 miles, that's not perfect. What is this thing worth to sell on the retail market? I'm curious to you guys. I know there's value, I just don't know what the value is. And I'm searching. The Model X would have done well for me. There's an Escalade over there that was a pretty fair price. That would have done well for me. I'm thinking like under 50. We sold our Cybertruck for 82, so we have 82,000 to spend on just something fun that makes me smile. I don't want to spend all that money because like I had already said, we're losing money on those things. Now there is a Rivian over here that had some body damage that was undervalued, but electric vehicles, the repairs on electric vehicles are more expensive than regular cars, even bodywork. It's tough to get panels for vehicles like this. So this Rivian R1T is a 2023. It's worth roughly 50 grand here, but it's tough putting a valuation on repairs because if you look down this quarter panel, there is this not the one? Maybe this isn't the one, but there was one that had body damage down the side, and I don't know how to put an evaluation on bodywork on an electric vehicle. There's a lot of specifics that have to be taken care of when doing that stuff. I'm not gonna do it in-house, I'm gonna outsource it. So what does it cost to repair those things? That's why I stayed away, but it was still undervalued. So I don't know, still learning, and you're learning with me. This is what I'm thinking, 2023 Porsche Panamera Turbo S, 617 horsepower, same 4-liter twin turbo engine that the Urus has, that the RSQ8 has. That car is amazing and it's all-wheel drive. 23 miles, and the problem is none of them are selling. We have 23 miles, 77 miles, 49,000, oh, that's a BMW. Not a lot of Porsches are selling, which is becoming an issue. So things you have to be aware of. I also kind of want Bronco Raptor. I'm gonna go back to that Ferrari in a minute, but let's check this out. So a few years ago, these were over $100,000 because you could not get them. So there was a markup on these vehicles. Wow, this is really, really sharp. There was a markup on these vehicles originally, and people were paying well over $100,000 for a 6-cylinder Bronco. Now that the demand is down, Broncos aren't really selling. And if you look at Bronco prices, like 4-cylinder Broncos are in the $40,000 range. It's crazy. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't perform incredibly well. I'm not saying it's incredibly cool, because it is. It's really, really wide and kind of goofy looking from behind. Like, you can see how wide it is because of those fender flares. My neighbor, whom I'm not gonna mention their name, was a professional athlete and has one of these that they're selling. So I'm gonna try to buy his from him soon. Pretty cool. And the values have come down, so they're not really affordable, I would say, but still like within reason now. It's fairly reasonable for a pretty awesome truck. So is this Magnum PI's car, a 308 Quattro Valvoli? I think his was a 308 GTB. Is the door open like that? Yup. It is a manually gated 5-speed transmission. This car is mint. No warping on the dash. We have the Targa removable roof. Who knows who Magnum PI is? Is anybody old enough to know who Magnum PI is? Even my 360 Spider steering wheel is very similar to this. It's almost identical to this Momo steering wheel, but mine has an airbag. 25,000 miles. What an amazing, cool car this is. Well, that's it for this auction. I sold the Fusion. We made some money, had some fun, gave me something to do, gave me some content to create and teach some of you guys some things. Didn't buy anything for myself. Learned a lesson. We're gonna start buying publicly and bringing it back here because this auction gets all the money. Great for sellers. For buyers, some good stuff, some expensive stuff, a little bit of everything, and a lot of fun stuff. So next, there's actually an auction up the street. We're gonna go get some lunch, get a haircut, and go to the next auction to see what's there. That's where I bought the Fusion from. So this video isn't over yet. Hey, real quick, I'm gonna jump in here. This is a dealer auction. I can go to all 50 states, any dealer auction in all 50 states with my dealer's license and buy or sell at any of the auctions. It's wonderful. I got my dealer's license, started my dealership back in 2008, have had a dealer's license ever since. It is wonderful. I can buy cars for myself, I can buy cars for my family, I can buy cars for our dealership, I can buy cars from the public and sell them here, I can buy cars here and sell them from my dealership. It's wonderful. And I don't have to register any car, I don't have to insure any car because they're run through my dealer plates, through my business insurance. It is incredible. I buy this car for the business, I put a dealer plate on this car. It's insured under the plate. Any car that is purchased for my dealership to resell, we use our dealer plate for it. It is incredible. Now, if you want to learn how to get your own dealer's license, start your own dealership, whether it's going to be big or small, I can teach you how to finance customers. I can teach you how to establish lines of credit for yourself. Everything you need to know to start your own dealership is in a step-by-step program called startyourdealership.com. I have people asking me all the time, Craig, can you mentor me? Craig, can you tell me how to do this, how to do that? It's far more than just Googling how to get your dealer's license. I will take you step-by-step, chapter by chapter on video to show you how to do it yourself and buy like I do. Anywhere in all 50 states. It's wonderful. Now, we also have a private Facebook group that you can join and you can ask questions. You can discuss your progress in the Facebook group. It is incredible. www.startyourdealership.com if you want to check it out. There's a link in my description. Before we head over to the other auction, Lauren is in New Hampshire at an auction in New Hampshire buying for Flying Wheels. Now, I buy cars down here and ship them up north that are rust-free. She also buys cars at the auctions that I was going to in New Hampshire. Today she went. Let's call her and see what she bought.
Hello.
Hey, it's Craig.
Hey.
Hey, I was at the auction today and I did an auction video, and you were at the auction at the same time, so I was just recording. What did you end up getting today?
I got a, do I say prices?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I got a 2010 Chevy Aveo with 114,000 miles for $1,400.
Perfect tax car.
Yep. I got a 2015 Nissan Sentra. That one has a current inspection sticker, I noticed. 142,000 miles
Nice.
for $1,500. And then this one I'm really excited about. It's a 2015 Nissan Rogue Select with only 61,000 miles on it.
Whoa, how much was that one?
That was $3,200.
That's awesome. Great day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. So for anybody asking what's going on up north, Southern Cars No Rust, I've bought some, and we can ship them up north with no rust for Lauren to sell retail to retail customers. I can search out cars down here to send up to Lauren to sell to retail customers. I can buy cars here and sell them at this auction while I'm here, or any other dealer auction while I'm here wholesale, which is what you saw me do today. And then Lauren is managing Flying Wheels North, and she bought 3 cars today, and she's in the market for inexpensive cars because tax season's coming up. So like that sub $5,000 car, even though it's really difficult to buy cars like that, that's the stuff she's buying. And then Dave fixes them, Devin details them, Lauren sells them. So all is going well up there too. Let's head over to the other auction now.